lock it. I see it back. Okay. Right. Peace, fam. Greetings to everyone. Hope everyone is doing all right. This is Professor Griff, and of course, you'll already know this is the Masters. Brought to you by Black Power Media Reloaded. Shout out to Kalanji. Shout out to all those individuals that's involved in helping me manifest this thing. All right. All right. Once again, this is Professor Griff, and this is the Masses. All right. If you would like to donate to the the Masses, you could do so by hitting the Cash App, that's $ Professor Griff, and or if you want to contribute some information, do some research, whatever, get involved, you can also do that by texting me. My phone number is 678-557-2919. That's 678-557-2919. All right. Make sure y'all do that so we can make this thing happen for real. And in the meantime, in between time, we're going to be dealing with a very critical subject today, but maybe not so critical to some people. All right. Purposely, I did not put the title up in the corner right there so people can actually see it and get notification, because we're trying to figure out the notifications and why they're not going through, especially on my end. But there's two books that I'm going to be coming from today. This book right here, Hip Hop Decoded by Black Dot. And we're going to be talking about hip hop. We're going to be talking about the 5 elements. Not kind of going in depth, but we definitely need to talk about this whole idea of breakdancing. We need to talk about the whole idea of breaking. We need to talk about the whole idea of it being in the Olympics and excluding the originators, the founders, and even those individuals that was on the periphery of hip hop at that particular time, regardless of what you call yourself, Dominicans, Jamaicans, Somalians, Puerto Ricans, whatever, you still black. Now, if you want to dive into the Black Law Dictionary on me, you do that on your own. But nonetheless, when those people view us through their lens and look at us, we're all black. I'm not saying that you have to claim whatever you want to claim as an individual. But I'm saying to you, if you're going to participate in a culture, all right, that we've opened up this house of hip hop to, and you come in, only thing we're asking you to do is abide by the rules of the culture as you would any other culture that you go into. All right. As any other culture you go into, you would have to abide by the rules, regulations, and the laws of that particular culture. So we're please asking you to do that even when we're having this particular discussion. All right. Thank you very much. So in the meantime, between time, we're going to dive into some things. There's a few commercials that I want to cover, but keep in mind, I need you to go look this book up right now. Hip Hop Decoded by the Black Dot. All right. Shout out to Malcolm. Shout out to Black Dot. Shout out to his queen. Matter of fact, their queens. All right. And then the beautiful show that they do on with the father and son team that they have. It's on different levels. It's a beautiful thing when you look in it instead of at it. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, shout out to Black Dot. We're going to be diving into that in a minute. And then, of course, we're going to be coming from the Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop by yours truly, Professor Griff. Make sure you get this book. It's at my website, www.professorgriff.me. That's professorgriff.me. Get the information. All right. So let me see if I can do this so we get this information out. Just a few commercials, and then we're going to dive into the subject matter. While I am going through the commercials, it might take me about 2 minutes. What you need to be doing now, one of the things that I did prior to coming on the show today is do some little bit of research. How about do 2 minutes worth of research? Let's do the 2-minute drill. I pulled up Black People Invented Everything. All right. By Supreme Understanding. All right. Mr. Dr. Das. Black people invented everything. All right. We don't have to go break into subcategories about Puerto Ricans, Jamaicans, Dominicans, and Cubans, and we don't have to do that. Take pride in where you're from and that aspect of the subculture of you being the original people. That's a beautiful thing. All right. When we all come together, when we do come together, and soon we'll have to come together because we're going to be forced to come together. All right. Do your research. All right. Because the same cultural energy, spirit, vibration that flows through my veins flows through yours, regardless of what you call yourself, regardless of how curly or kinky or straight your hair is, or whether you're lighter, darker, whatever. All right. Anyway, pick up this book, Dr. Das. Black people invented everything. We're talking about the research now that you should be doing right now when I dive into these commercials. Why white kids love hip hop. Bakari Kitwana. Why do white kids love hip hop? Why do white people love hip hop? Why do the same people that want to destroy the culture turn around and now want to take the culture and benefit from it, at the same time polluting it, demeaning it, and doing all the things that they do to make it look ugly to you, but at the same time make it profitable for them? All right? So why white kids love hip hop? The whole idea of wanksters, wiggers, wannabes, and the new reality of race in America. Y'all know where I'm going with this when we start talking about the Olympics. All right? Hip hop being in the Olympics. William Jelani Cobb, my brother. To the break of dawn. To the break of dawn. All right? I mean, you have to. This is only 3 or 4 books from my vast library of hip hop information and books. There's a chapter in here where he talks about going to the root, man. You understand what I'm saying? And if we don't do that with anything that we do when it comes to hip hop, so that we can remind people of the roots of hip hop. All right, hold on. Let me just go here. All right. Okay. So right now, if you're watching this, I need everyone to hit 3 other people up and let them know that we're on. Send them the link, invite them over so we could talk about it in the chat. All right, I just got 2 more books to talk about, and we're going to be diving into this. I wanted to pull Jeff Chang's book in, but I just moved like about a month ago, so things are still in boxes, and I'm looking for some stuff. Because next week I want to dive into Rick Rubin's book. All right, but we'll talk about that in a minute. That's the joint, the hip hop studies reader. If you study hip hop and you don't have that's the joint, then we might need to revisit this thing. So I'm asking, write these books down, take a screenshot of them, do whatever. But the individuals that set up that buffer that would not allow original breakers and break dancers, B-girls and B-boys, into the Olympics through the portal of Australia, through the gateway of Australia, did they even take into account that these books exist and you can study the origin of hip-hop and breaking and b-boying and b-girling, the origins of it? And there's just signature certain moves that you have to know because it was a language that we spoke to one another, unless you didn't take that class. Unless you didn't take that class, then you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know that it was a story that some of the Italian, Greek, Italian, European, ballet dancers, those are stories that they were telling, the theatrics and the moves that they did when you go to the ballet. Those are intricate stories interwoven into certain people's cultures. So you cannot go into that thing without doing your research, without doing certain basic moves and techniques that ballerinas do. How are you going to do that? I'm just kind of curious. I'm just Throwing that out there. How do you do that? There's just certain things that you have to know. All right. This kind of reading and research before you even consider going to the Olympics is necessary. Before you even, I'm not saying you had to do this early on in hip hop because this didn't exist. It didn't exist because we were the ones creating hip hop at the time. So people that came along that was on the periphery of hip hop that looked into hip hop and wrote about it and came up with 300-page manuals and readers, we didn't necessarily have to do this because this is our culture and we live this. The proof of that is go find one recipe that your grandmama's mama's mama left you that you could give to your wife. Or if you're a woman that's listening to this, that you have right now on your phone or in your Rolodex or that card catalog sitting on the desk or sitting on the countertop in your kitchen. You can't do it because it's here. It's here. This is why in Islam, the young students that are in Islam are made to recite the Quran by heart because it has to be in your heart. This is why the Lakota tribe, Native Americans, basically said when the paper got invented and they started writing things down, they forgot. They forgot. All right? Shout out to my good brother, Brother Rich. Shout out to King Simon. Shout out to, of course, Quan S., Johnny Taylor, B. Sun, John Trey, all those individuals that supported, of course, Little Goddess, and of course, Miss Little John, and definitely shout out to Soleil. All right. Our anniversary was yesterday. Thank you very much for all the well wishes and that kind of thing. 7 years. We're working toward the number 9, as you can see. We're working towards that number 9 so we can bring it back around again. So we can be, quote unquote, as y'all Christians say, born again. That's when you renew your vows. You get deeper into, because after 6, 7 years, you just getting around to like, okay, I know this individuals. You understand what I'm saying? And so by the time the 9th year roll around, you're like, okay, let's meet let's go back to the same place, either where we met or where we had the ceremony, the rituals, and that kind of thing. Invite the people back in, and it's a beautiful thing. And at that point, I'd like to say this. Woo! At that point, we definitely need to do this thing called the Ubuntu Flow. All right? September 14th, 2024, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 2148 Noonan Street, East Points. Shout out to my man, Mr. DJ Fifth World, Tunisio. Of course, me, him, and Soleil have gotten together, and we said to ourselves, listen, we're going to do this ecstatic dance thing. All right? We're going to do this ecstatic dance thing, and we're going to have the people show up and show the hell out. You understand what I'm saying? Simply because it's a beautiful thing. All right? It's a beautiful thing when you can do that. Now, hold on. Let me get my tablet to let y'all know. You could get the tickets. I need y'all to write this down. You could get the tickets at www.goddesstempleoflove.com. www.goddesstempleoflove.com/events. It's the ecstatic dance. It's the first one that we're doing. We want the sisters to bring their husbands out. We want your husbands to nudge your wife. This is a good way to exercise. It's a good way to release tension. It's a good way to kind of vibe with one another. All right. It's called the Ubuntu Flow, the ecstatic dance. All right. This is going to be September 14th. Family, let's make it happen. All right. You can get the tickets at www.goddesstempleoflove.com /events. All right. A few more announcements while you're doing your research. Of course, you know, my book is out. Now you know. All right. Now you know. If you don't know, now you know. It's the 5 Elements of Hip Hop by Professor Griff, the Minister of Information, Public Enemy. All right. I think the beautiful thing about this book, family, is the fact that we go over the elements of hip hop, right? And on each page, there's a QR code that will lead you, all right? That will lead you to a documentary film or to some more information dealing with the 5 elements or the element that you're on. All right, so if you're sitting there with your grandchild or your children or whatever, and you going over the 5 elements telling the story, you can have them scan the QR code and go to some deeper research. All right, this is a must-have for those individuals that are jegners, all right, that are teaching our children the history of hip-hop so we can get a firm foundation. So when the culture bandits come along to try to steal the history, we'll already have it written on our soul. All right. All right. So now you know. Go to www.professorgriff.me. That's www.professorgriff.me and order the book, or just text me at 678-557-2919. All right, it's 2919. Hold on one second. This other important announcement I need to make before y'all. I'm sure y'all doing the research though. All right. All right, Breaking Through the Matrix. Brought to you by Sankofa 360 and 720 Study Group out of Jacksonville, Florida. Myself and Dr. Scott Whitaker. You know Scott Whitaker. All right. He wrote the book Medicine. All right. We're going to be at the Scottish Rite Cathedral, 29 West 6th Street, Jacksonville, Florida. That's Sunday, September 8th, 2024 at 1 p.m. All right. You can get the tickets at the door. They're a little bit more expensive at the door. All right. But you can get them. You can get them ahead of time. What I need y'all to do, I need y'all to take this phone number down, 904-355-9050. 904-355-9050. That's Island Tropic Restaurant. You can purchase them there. I'm not sure where you can get them online, but there's a phone number here that you can call so that you can get the information to get your fly. Or you can call 904-438-8511. That's 904-438-8511. All right. It's hosted by Sankofa 360 and 720 Study Groups. All right. Get the tickets now, fam. All right. Last but not least, of course, you can get the tickets at 904-551-0110. 904-551-0110. All right. That's Moon's Apothecary. All right. Shout out to Dr. Whitaker. Shout out to my brother Umar down in Jacksonville, doing the things with the brothers and sisters down there. Real quick, fam. Make sure you pick up my other children's book, You Are the Song That You Sing. All right. And then book 2 is definitely on its way. All right. Book 2 is on its way. What I need the brothers to do, brothers, pay attention, and sisters. Sisters, I need your help with this. All right. I need y'all to pick up this series. That's Resurrection Formula. All right. It's a must. It's a male tonic elixir for the brothers. I'm talking about 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning when it naturally happened, when the black power fist is in the air, when the obelisk is erected. You understand what I'm saying? You want to resurrect your king. All right. So make sure you get the resurrection formula. And then during the course of the day for you sisters, if you're having that brain fog, make sure you pick up the Serious Minds Brain Tonic. All right. It clears the brain fog that's there. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. Don't worry about it. I got you. All right. Seriously. So, Serious Minds Brain Tonic and the Resurrection Formula, it's a must. And of course, last but not least, if you just want to vibe out at home, make sure you pick up my last album, which is the Asafo Soul by Professor Griff. That's the instrumental album you can pick up. If you don't want to hear the affirmations, but I'm sure you do. If you do, if you got young kings and queens in the home, you might want to pick up the Asafo Soul. All right, with the lyrics, with the affirmations. All right, this is a warrior affirmation album. Pick it up right now at www.professorgriff.me. www.professorgriff.me. All right, any of these things that you want to purchase, just hit me up. All right. All right, fam. All right. We're going to dive into this subject matter. We're going to just kind of make it right. All right. All right. Salute, fam. Let's dive into this particular subject. So, I did as you witness the blatant disrespect of the hip hop culture. Shout out to Minister Server. Shout out to KRS-One, those individuals gave us this acronym of hip hop, high infinite power healing, our people from the temple of hip hop. All right. And all those individuals that are supposed to be speaking up and out for the culture, who's supposed to be standing 10 toes down to speak for the culture. We need to hear your voice right now. We need to see you. All right. We need to hear your voice right now. And we need to see you. All right. It's a beautiful thing that when those individuals that the people supported now support the people. All right. Okay. Let's keep in mind now that there have been individuals like the individuals that I've showed you that have written about hip hop. So any of those individuals that attempted to participate in hip hop being in the Olympics for the first time, establishing itself, how is it that we're going to establish ourselves on a global platform, on a global scene, on a global stage, being represented by those particular individuals that have not sat in those particular, I'm trying to figure out the wording for this. I want to say virtual, I could say cultural hip hop classes where you didn't need the book. You had to be there. You had to be there. You had to be there. Shout out to Minister Server again, who gave us high infinite power, healing our people. All right. Hip hop. You had to be there. You had to participate in the elements. All right. As Black Dot so eloquently mentions in his book, you had to participate in the elements. You're right. Okay. I could say you had to be in those rooms, but in most cases it was outside. So it was the greater room. All right. You had to be in that mindset. You had to be the one to bring the box with the box cutter, cut open with the duct tape, and tape the cardboard down so you could break dance. You had to do those things. You had to get your knees and elbows scuffed up, and in most cases the top of the head scuffed up. All right, but in most cases we wore hats, so when we spun on our head, because of like I always teach, spiral is kinship to spirit. So it was something very intricate, something very esoteric, something very spiritual about what we were doing with the 5 elements, as Black Dot goes into in his book Hip Hop Decoded, as he breaks down the five elements. All right, Black Dot says in his book, he talked about the whole idea of order out of chaos, something that we were formulating at that particular time, putting those elements together. We didn't necessarily have to write those things down because we lived it every single day. Now someone came along and wrote those things down, and then now we have to codify it. But the individuals that was creating it didn't necessarily intentionally have to, not to say that they didn't. I'm watching my words carefully. They deemed it necessary to codify it later on, but they didn't do it from the outstart. They didn't say, this is breakdancing, and this is what we need to do in order for us to breakdance, and these are the rules, and this is that, 1 through 5, these are the moves, these are the steps. No, as you can remember, if you go back in history, when we taught them other people how to dance, we had to put an actual footprint on the floor and put numbers in them to teach them where to step in order to teach them how to dance. We didn't have to do that. So much so when we integrated with them and they integrated with us, even now in Texas and Houston and Dallas and Colleen and Louisiana and St. Charles and some of these other places where they line dance. Line dancing is a beautiful thing, but when we start integrating with them, we had to teach them basic steps. Move this way, step this way. So we started making those songs. To the left, step, dip, now to the right, go, spin, back it up, come on. We had to do that. Ain't got to do that for black people. You just put the goddamn music on. You understand what I'm saying? You don't have to do that for us. So the idea now of having to do these things in order to accommodate someone that's not part of the culture. You got to teach them what the aspects of the culture and baby steps. All right? Baby steps. Baby steps. All right? Let me slow down and take a deep breath. Because Black Dot talked about the whole idea of order out of chaos in his book, Hip Hop Decoded. All right? Shout out to Clear Vision. Shout out to Anthony D. Shout out to Tennessee, the therapy, the Throw Therapy Radio 808. That's a long ass title, Tennessee. Damn. It's gonna call you Radio Therapy Radio 808. How's that? You got the 808 popping, so we good. All right. All right. So we have to do these things. Like Troy Scott said, we grew up in this, so we knew it. We didn't have to rehearse it. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. So the idea now of being able to move to the point where we are freely allowing people into the culture. All right. You got to keep in mind the name of this, and Kalaji chose it very, very, very intentionally. This is Arm the Masses, because we need to arm the masses. We need to give the arm, we need to arm the masses with the information. All right. We need, as I often say, and as Darren Osborne says, the revolution of the mentally dead, man. We need to revive. We need to go back in order to evolve. The re-evolution. All right. In order to move forward. As the saying Kofa teaches us, standing in the present, always moving forward, always having to go back and fetch it. We have to do that. That's the basis to arming the masses. We need to arm the masses. Let me tell y'all what happened. I got some corrective criticism from the last show that I did, which is a beautiful thing. I'm taking it all in stride. All right. But let me say this, and I'm not saying this to one individual. If you're going to come and attack Griff and offer me corrective criticism, but you're only looking at my response to what other people are saying or doing, I think that's very unfair to me. If I'm responding to, for example, let me give you an example. All right, I'm gonna get back to this. Hold on. Let's give you an example. I saw a meme, and I don't want to take the credit for it. So I saw a meme from a sister, and she said, the meme said, and I think her little talk was talking about, where were y'all in 2019, I believe it was, when Kamala Harris was running for president? Where's all the fanfare, all the $1 million commercials, the billions of dollars, the millions of dollars that all these organizations are raising? Where was all of that energy back then? So, but because of Professor Griff come along and repeat what the sister already put out there and repeat it to you, you turn around and attack me, not the sister on where it came from, and you don't even look at the information that we're giving you. Where was all the fanfare back then? You don't think this is an agenda? You don't think the selection has already been made and they're whipping your energy up, keeping you distracted over there while the agenda is still happening over them other people across the water that's committing genocide? Got $20 billion last week, 2 weeks ago, rather. Wait, this Kamala Harris person is the same person of 2019. What happened from then to now that all of a sudden, all this energy, all this fanfare, all this stuff happening? Like, come on, talk to me. So you attack Griff. You come at me. So rather than looking, okay, look at me. Yeah, I'm not beyond reproach. Let me say that. Let me slow down. I'm not beyond reproach. You can approach me. This is why I give you my phone number. How many other people that say what they say and they hide behind a code name on social media? No, I put my name on it with my phone number. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So So to attack me, and you don't go and look at the information that I'm giving you, yeah. Shimesu Nature. No, you cannot. You says you cannot create a revolution at home reading a book. You create political organizations to educate the masses. Well, I disagree with you to a degree. I agree with you, but at the same time, I disagree with you because revolutions have come out of books. People have written about other revolutions, the idea and the concept of revolutions, and they did put it in a book. And some of those individuals that was locked in prison read the book, came out, but the book was just the doorway, the gateway. This book has only been out maybe 10 years, and I created a mind revolution, an aspect of a mind revolution with this book. Black Dot put the information in the book and created a mind revolution. So I beg to differ with you, but you can. You said you cannot create a revolution. You can. You can spark a revolution by putting it in a book. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how many people have held up religious books and recreated a religious movement and revolution with a book. But I think, let me kind of just drop something on you real quick. I don't know you, but let me just say this. I believe the scripture says, if it be the weight of an atom and the atom is hidden in the rock and the rock is hidden in the earth, yet Allah will bring it forth. All right. All of those particular things, yet no, you may not find them in the book, but you'll find them in the book called the universe. All right. Let me just drop that on you. I don't want to go back and forth with you or anyone. I just want to drop that on you so I can get back to the subject. Now, this idea of the Olympics comes around, and I think I need to take a deep breath because I need to get some tissue and take a deep breath because I'm going to put that Ubuntu flow up on the screen so you can marinate on that. I'm going to go grab some tissue while I play this. All right, I'm black. All right. All right. So let me get back to what I was saying. So now the hip hop is being recognized in the Olympics on a global scale officially. Hip hop has been global for a long time, in case y'all didn't know. Been global for a long time. Ask our brothers and sisters that have started these genres, subgenres of hip hop, whether it's trip hop, strip hop, or some of these other things. It's been global for a long time. So I guess to make it official, so that now billion-dollar sponsors can come along, all right, and start dumping money into hip hop. Hip hop cannot be seen as a black art form. And that's one of the things that I think that they are attempted to do, because when people focused on this young lady, Ray Gun, who just kind of did a disservice to breaking and the breakers and insulted the breakers. You understand what I'm saying? I think, but because it went down that way and black people were not, and the originators of hip hop and breaking was not represented on that global platform, I think it's disrespectful. While at the same time, we just came off of an argument with Fat Joe and Busta Rhymes and other people, and the gentleman Tariq Nasheed that made the film, and other people. We're having to go back and forth with Lord Jamar and other people with KRS One and that kind of thing, talking about the origins of hip hop. Right when we're in at the end of that, the Olympic thing happened, and then even the people that were having the argument about the origins of hip hop, the people that we were talking about, Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, whomever. I think Tariq Nasheed calls them foundational Black Americans, were not even invited. We're not even included in the breakdancing and the element of one of the elements of hip hop in the Olympics. So we arguing about it. They getting big dollars for it. How does that work? Help me out with that. Salute, Jamal Davis. Salute. But help me out with that. Help me understand that particular dynamic and how this thing works. We're arguing about it on 5, 6 different platforms on YouTube. They in Paris. Billions of dollars from advertisers are flowing through. Then when we see hip hop that we created, we're not represented. We're not invited. We arguing about it though. So let me ask all those people that I mentioned. Y'all know I love y'all, but I'm gonna love you in a tough kind of way because I'm gonna ask some serious questions. After the argument, what did you gain? Black Dot whispered in my ear at Brother Rich's event, the Gathering of the Mass. He said, "You know something, Griff? Now this is Black Dot speaking to me. I'm not really saying, I'm just listening." And we were having a conversation, but he leaned in. He says, "Listen, quiet as it's kept, man. All of this music is Black music, come from Black people. Whether whatever island you on or whatever you want to call yourself." I was like, wow. I had to go back to my table because I was vending at that time, but Black Dot put something on my brain. And I was like, wow. Yeah. So that was the argument that was happening at the same time. These people are benefiting politically. All right. As a matter of fact, if you look at the 9 areas of people activity, right, you could look at how they benefited. Politically, they benefited. The cultural war that was going on, that we was fighting among ourselves, they benefited. They said, let them argue over there. We're going to do this over here. The culture vultures and the culture bandits were rejoicing because behind the scenes, they said, man, we got them. We got them. Hold on. Where's the book at? We got them. And they're not even asking the question why white kids love hip hop. We got them. The culture vultures was like, yeah, man, we in there. The culture bandits rejoiced because the people that they put in place to keep us at the level that we're at culturally and politically, because our culture is eating itself. Aspects of the culture, subculture, not the overall culture. When you have the overall culture and you break it off into the whole idea of the section called music, which is a universal language, right? And you look in it, they're taking aspects of our subculture and made those individuals, as Black Dot teaches in his book, Hip Hop Decoded, they take the lowest essence of our culture and they give it maximum exposure. Hold on. For the record, B-Boy Jeffro is a FBA who represented the USA in the Olympics. Word. Thank you, Minister Server. That's why Minister Server needs his own show. Yeah, we're going to put some fire behind him. Look, do your show, bro. We need that. Now we need to find out who is B-Boy Jeffro. All right. And if he's a foundational Black American, whatever that means, because I don't prescribe to that particular ideology or language, because Elijah Muhammad came along and taught us and told us that the Black man's the original man. Ishaka Musa Barishango said, you cannot go any place on the planet where you don't see Black people's footprint that we've left. And in most cases, our handprint, and we left it, whether we chiseled graffiti in the walls of the pyramids or we tagged somewhere. All right? Okay. All right. So listen, so I think where we are now in trying to grasp the totality of our culture and our subcultures, plural, one of them being hip hop, I think we need to pull it back. So the next time a global organization like the Olympics comes around and they want to kind of look into hip hop to see what contests or competition or whatever they could have, they choose those of us. And matter of fact, when I looked closer into it and I looked at the judges, I was like, wow. Go look at the footage again. Look who's in the audience. Look who the judges are. Were there any break dancers that we know of that were judges? I know we lost a few of them. And maybe Server can speak to that. We lost a few of them, but where are those individuals that should have been as judges? I mean, come on. So we have to kind of look into the whole idea of them being very selective about who they watch what I'm saying now, who they want to put in front of us to represent us. Imagine that, somebody else choosing some people among us and among them to represent us. Why can't we choose the people to represent us, who we want to represent us? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with us getting together in committees and saying, okay, so-and-so and so-and-so from the Bronx, so-and-so and so from Brooklyn, Manhattan, Yonkers, Staten Island, Long Island, all right, Philly, Jersey, other places, they need to be there as a council to approve who these judges are. And then the judges would need to have a long history in the culture in order to even judge a breakdance competition in the Olympics. Would you agree or would you not agree? So let's kind of deal with it in a very how can I say this? Let's think deeper about how we and how we should get together and quail some of the arguing and bickering among us in order to stay focused on the enemy, the culture vultures and the culture bandits trying to continue to steal the culture. They do it in subtle ways. You understand what I'm saying? Ways that you may not be familiar with. I wish I had Del Jones's book in front of me. It may take me too much to. I'll do it on the next show when I talk about Rick Rubin's book. All right. Listen, Troy Scott, you asked the question: who were the judges at the Australian trials? Well, there's this thing called Facebook Live. There's this thing called Zoom. There's this thing called WhatsApp video that you could have had judges from around the world. Did not the pandemic teach us that? You didn't have to have only judges from Australian trials. You could have video piped people in. What's wrong with that? All right. They will prop a person not of the culture to talk down about black people who are the inventors of the culture. He said it's Kalanji's fault. No, sir, this is my show. Hip Hop Bridge Builders is coming to BM September. Word. That's from Minister Server. He blaming it on Kalanji. I got you. Brother Chris, thank you, good bro. We appreciate you. All right. All right. So at this part of the show, which I normally should have done this at the halfway point, let me just hear what you have to say. All right. Rich, the African elder, one, Ubuntu. Yeah, Ubuntu, good bro. All right. It's a beautiful thing. This is the Ubuntu flow. We gotta make it happen. We gotta get our brothers out to move. All right. This is how we lose aspects of the culture. If you don't get out and you don't break dance, then we don't even know that black people still break dance. If you don't get out, and when we set up the canvases at the shows for you to come and you to spray or you to paint or you to take the Sharpie and show us that you can do graffiti, graph writing. If you don't show up, then how do we know you still do it? All right. How do we know that you still participating in the 5 elements of hip hop? How do we know that? You understand what I'm saying? So the question that Biggie asked was, if you don't know, then now you know. If you don't know, now you know. If you don't get out and you don't MC, all right? If you're not the master of ceremony, then how do we know you're even participating in the 5 elements? All right. As a matter of fact, what we're going to do at this point, we got 15 minutes left. Give me the 5 elements and show and tell me where we're participating in these elements. Because the 5 elements I dealt with in this book, of course, from its Black African origins, that's where I start. Don't get it twisted and don't get it confused. We break down hip hop, given to us by Minister Server, KRS-One, Temple of Hip Hop. Hip hop, high infinite power, healing our people. Of course, we give credit and give thanks and praise to the Creator for giving us these ancestors, or what? Let me see. All right. Right here, we deal with the ancestor, the ancestral lineage. Then we start going into the elements, the DJing, the MCing, the breaking, the graph writing. Last but not least, on this page, knowledge of self. All right. We too busy dancing on TikTok. Nah, I hear you. Yeah. Brother Chris said, honestly, we saw it coming. The Asians and the Europeans and other people got a hold of it after we done had years and years and years of break dancing. Let me see. I was on with Kalanji earlier. Let me see if I could do this, Kalanji. Let me see if I could show the people. Hold on. Let me see if I can show the people. And hopefully I could do this right and we don't get disconnected or anything. Hold on. Share the screen. Go to, was it my Facebook? Go here, right? Share. Hit this. Can I do it? Is it going to let me do it? No. Nah, it's not going to let me do it. Stop sharing. Go back here. Hold on. Let me try another way. Go here. Share the screen. I thought I had it. Kalanji. Let me see if I can do it this way. It's breaking in Africa. All right. Let's see if I can go there. Right. Let's see if I can go here. Let's see if I can click that. Oh, shoot. Breaking in Africa. Let me see if I can get some volume. No, hold on. Let me start it again. I'll put this up on my page, and this is on Luther Parker's page. Words to the original. Breakdancing in Africa. Can y'all see this? Or is it just me? Hold on for a second. Hold on. Are y'all seeing this? So all those Jamaicans and he doing some martial arts. Hey, I used to do that kick when I was like 16. Ooh, okay. All right. Did y'all see that, or was I just watching that by myself? Ah, somebody said they can't see the video. I was watching that whole thing by myself. Let me see if I can do it again. Hold up, fam. Let me show you. Hold on. Oh man, the video was dope, man. Hold on. Can't see the video. Okay, hold on. Hold up. I'm gonna try it this way. Ah, you see it now? How about now? Give me a peace sign. Thumbs up. You see the video now. Now we see. Oh, okay. There it is. Fam, there we go. I, I don't even know what else can we possibly say. I mean, I'm trying to figure this out, man. How else do you say this? It's there right there. Shout out to Grandmaster Cass. Hold on. Hip hop didn't invent anything. Hip hop reinvented everything. Woo! Grandmaster Cass. Peace. Salute. Real. Man. Wow. All right. All right, fam. For the few minutes I have left, it's critical, man. Yeah. Let me just remind everyone I'm on every Wednesday. Can y'all at least spread the word? Let people know. All right. Let people know that Professor Griff is on every Wednesday at 12 noon. If people can't catch it because they're at work or whatever, pass the information on. Take the clip. I'll be back on Serious Minds next week in September when my man Server does his thing. I'm trying to figure out when he's gonna schedule his thing so we don't clash. All right. And keep in mind, fam. All right. The Ubuntu. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. Hold on. Hold on. Let me go back to the comments. Let me find server. Bring that there. Come back to here. All right. So let me just remind everybody for the few minutes that we have left. Of course, my information is at the bottom of the screen. If you'd like to donate to Arm the Masses with your brother, Professor Griff, yours truly, that's $ Professor Griff on Cash App. If you need my Venmo or you need my Zelle, you could use my phone number. And of course, remember, fam, the Ubuntu Flow, DJ Fifth World Soleil and Professor Griff, September 14th, 2024, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's 2148 Noonan Street, East Point, Georgia. All right. It's the Ubuntu Flow Ecstatic Dance. And of course, you go to www.goddesstempleoflove.com for the tickets. www.goddesstempleoflove.com/events. Keep in mind the 5 elements in this book for your children. The book is called Now You Know, 5 Elements of Hip Hop by Professor Griff. And of course, my album, The Asafo Soul, which is the Warrior Affirmation album. All right, the affirmations are on there, and this is the instrumental in case you just want to vibe out. All right, and of course, we came from this book today, The Psychological Covert War on Hip Hop, and of course, Black Dot's book, Hip Hop Decoded. And of course, don't forget to get the Serious Minds Brain Tonic. And of course, for the brothers, The Resurrection Formula, and my other children's book, You Are the Song That You Sing. In this book, You Are the Song That You Sing Part 2, that you sing Part 2 is on its way to you. And remember, myself and Dr. Scott Whitaker will be breaking through the matrix in Jacksonville, Florida. Take the information down, screenshot it, whatever, and let's do what it do. As always, fam, I love y'all to life. Y'all already know that. I serve you. You don't necessarily have to serve me. Don't need you to serve me. I'm here in service to you, the people. All right? Once again, Professor Griff. Please pass the information on, fam, that we're on every Wednesday, and I'll be back on Serious Minds next week. All right? Keep in mind, we're arming the masses. All right? We are arming the masses, man. We have to arm the masses. It's very critical that we do this. We have to arm the masses in order to get some well-educated soldiers. All right? Well-informed, well-educated, well-informed people. All right? We have to do this. We're arming the masses. All right? As you already know, I'm bringing the information. I'm sending you the books, connecting the dots that Steve Copeland teaches us. Bringing the people in the spirit of Dr. Khalid Muhammad. You understand what I'm saying? Shout out to Dr. Khalid El-Hakim, Black History 101 Mobile Museum, who's also connecting the dots. All right? We have to have the information, all right, in order to arm the masses. And we're definitely arming the masses. Revolution is not an event, it's a process. Peace. Peace.